Hi everyone! So I actually filmed this video a week ago and then I realized I forgot to film an intro. So I will look different in the rest of this video, but what we're going to see in this video is an application and wear test of the NYX's new Can't Stop Won't Stop primer and foundation. And this is available at, I assume, anywhere NYX is sold, including Ulta online. So I'll put a link in the description box below to where you can purchase it online if you want to, as well as a link to Ebates so that you can get some cash back on your order pretty much anywhere you buy things online. And as always, a link to the blog sale is there also. So please remember to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any videos like this. And let's get to applying this new primer and foundation. All right, we're gonna start with the primer. This is the Can't Stop Won't Stop Matte Primer. It retails through Ulta for $13.99, but of course right now and often there is a buy one get one half off on NYX items. The description says NYX Professional Makeup's Can't Stop Won't Stop Matte Primer will always go to the matte for you. This comfortable formula preps your complexion for super smooth foundation application and a matte finish. Just spread the creamy primer evenly over the skin and gently tap to set it. So we're going to apply this just to half of the face, and then we're going to see if there's any noticeable difference between the half that has the primer underneath the foundation and the side that just has the foundation. This is what the primer tube itself looks like. That's what it looks like on my finger. It's a pretty thick consistency and a bit difficult. Oh, whoa. This is really, it feels like the texture of almost like Vaseline. Ugh. Oh man, it doesn't feel great at all. I can see how it would create a mattifying effect, but geez, it's so thick. So I'm applying it to the left half of my face, which I think on the screen will appear as being on the right side. Now, once it's set, I've waited for about a minute. It doesn't feel heavy. It actually feels just like skin. I can't really tell that one side has something versus the other. So that's good. That's a good sign, because definitely on application it's kind of difficult to spread just because it's so thick. But once it sets, it doesn't have that same thick feeling to it. All right, so next up we have the Can't Stop Won't Stop Full Coverage Foundation. I picked the shade Nude, and it says it gives you 24-hour matte finish. I'm not going to be testing this for 24 hours. It's going to be closer to something like 12 hours, maybe more. This retails at Ulta for $14.99. It looks like they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. They have a lot of shades of this foundation, which is great. The description for it says that it's lightweight, waterproof, and pigmented AF. NYX Professional Makeup's Can't Stop Won't Stop Full Coverage Foundation hustles as hard as you do. This comfy liquid formula comes in 45 flattering tones that don't transfer. Every creamy shade glides on smooth, delivering matte coverage and color that stays true for up to 24 hours. This little overachiever also works to control shine and mattify your complexion all day long. But it doesn't stop there. This foundation is non-comedogenic, which doesn't mean anything, and suitable for normal oily combination and sensitive skin types. So suitable for all skin types apparently. Okay, so glass bottle pump dispenser, which is really nice. Let's see what the shade looks like. Okay. Let's see, let's go ahead and blend it in and see how it applies. I apply pretty much all liquid foundations either with a kabuki brush like this, flat top kabuki brush, or just with my hands. I think the shade is a tad light, at least in summer for me, but I think once we blend it out, it'll be fine. Okay, so I've used about a pump on the right side of my face. That's the one without primer. Let's go ahead and put another pump on the left side with the primer. Oh, I think I put less than a pump on this side, because this is definitely a lot more product than I was blending in and buffing in on the other side. It's sort of streaky on application. I'm gonna continue buffing and blending, but It doesn't have a super watery or thin consistency, but it's applying as if it's watery and streaky. So before this, I did my normal skincare routine as I would any day that I apply foundation. So that includes skincare products and then sunscreen. And then on camera, I used the primer on the left side. And I have to say, I don't love the way this foundation applies. It is, as I'm giving it some time, it is settling in and the streaks are becoming less noticeable, which is good. But it doesn't really look flawless on the skin the way I would want a foundation to look. So I don't know if you can tell up close near the hairline, it's pretty noticeable on the skin. On my nose, it's like really emphasizing dry spots, which I really usually don't have problems with. And then I don't know if you can see in between the brows, it's just really patchy and really emphasizes the skin there in a way that's not very flattering. All right, so far I get kind of medium coverage. It does have a very matte finish, which is nice, but it is really emphasizing my pores, creating seemingly dry spots that I didn't normally have. And just doesn't look seamless or flawless on the skin in terms of the finish. So I'm going to go ahead and apply concealer. I'm going to do an eye look, powder, do my contour, show you the finished product, and then we will check in periodically throughout the day to see how the foundation wears. All right, so I have obviously done an eye look. If you would like to see how I did this eye look and a review for Urban Decay's Aphrodisiac eyeshadow palette, which is what I used to create the look, then please make sure you go check out that video when it is posted. If it has already gone up, I will put a link in the upper corner for you to click on to see that, to see what my thoughts are, how good the palette is, how it applied, and how I created this look. But in terms of the foundation, I have now set the face with translucent setting powder. Mine is from Dermablend. It's just their loose translucent powder. So I will go throughout the day. I'm gonna finish by contouring and all that kind of stuff. But I will be back to check in with you and let you know how the foundation is performing. All right, just doing a kind of early check-in. It's been a couple of hours that I've had the foundation on. It's held up just the same as it looked once I applied it and set it with foundation. I don't really see any oiliness creeping through yet or shininess. So that's that. We'll check in another few hours from now. All right, everyone, so it's about 6 to 7 hours after first application. There is just minimal shininess that's coming through in the T-zone, but for how long I've been wearing the foundation, I'm very impressed by how matte it has stayed. There are still the same issues upon first application till now in terms of the patchiness, emphasizing dry patches, things like that, but if really what you want the most is to have a foundation that stays matte, so far in hour 6 and 7, that is holding strong. All right, so I'll check back in with you again in a few hours. All right, now we are at hour 12, going on 13 of wearing this foundation. And as you can see, it still has held up pretty nicely. I have what I would term is combination skin. It's not super oily, but it does usually get shiny with foundations after the first few hours. This one has held up really nicely. There is, like before, still a bit of shininess in the T-zone here, but otherwise, I mean, I wouldn't even really necessarily want to repowder or feel that that's really necessary with this foundation. So there is still that dry patchiness around the nose. That's the most noticeable thing. I would say actually because of the little bit of oiliness that around the hairline and on the chin, the sort of patchiness of and noticeability of the foundation has actually decreased a little bit. It's become a little more smooth. But around the nose, it's just not a seamless, beautiful finish foundation. So if you care about what it looks like up close, this is not the foundation for you, I don't think. If you have oily skin, then maybe, and you don't have any sort of dry patches, then maybe this is the foundation for you. But otherwise, I just think there are better foundations. The Wet n Wild foundation, their latest one comes to mind. Now let's compare the different sides. So remember that this is the side that has the mattifying primer. This is the side without any sort of primer. Now, it is difficult to tell. I don't think that there is a major difference. There definitely isn't. This side is slightly less oily and shiny, but just by a hair. So I also don't think that it's really that necessary to buy this primer either. So those are my overall thoughts on the new NYX foundation and primer. Please let me know what you think in the comment section below. Go check out the Aphrodisiac palette swatch video and give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. As always, thank you for taking the time to watch, and I'll see you in the next video.